Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. The community has tackled some tough topics as of late, from illegal fireworks to messages of hate. But at the same time, there's a lot to be proud of and to celebrate. Here to discuss all of this and a whole lot more is our councilwoman who represents Ward 2, is Victoria Seaman. Welcome back to the program. Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you.
Can you believe it? It's that time of year already? Wow.
Went by way too fast.
It does. It does every year. It seems like it goes faster as I get older for some reason. I don't know why that is. But Councilwoman, you represent Ward 2, as I mentioned. I'm a resident of Ward 2, as you are. And we know all about Ward 2,
That's
but
right.
for the folks out there who are hoping to learn a little more, we're going to show you on the map where Ward 2 is located, if you're not exactly sure. Basically, the area west of the Rainbow Curve out there. If you live in this area or work in this area, then of course you're in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And if you're a resident out there, you have been represented on the city council by Victoria Seaman for almost, what, about 4 years now? Something
Four
like
and a
that.
half
4.5 years. So time flies when you're having fun, councilwoman.
That's very true.
Well, you have many issues that you've helped draw community focus and attention to. And one relates to our pets and the need to adopt out pets. For our first topic, let's go back to October, Councilwoman. It was an exciting day for animal lovers in our community. You held a Ward 2 pet adoption fair. This was at Bruce Trent Park, not far from where I live. It was packed out there that day. This was great because we have a lot of pets that need a forever home. Too many.
Yeah, and it's just hard for people sometimes to think about during the weekend to get over to a shelter. So we're bringing it to them.
Yeah.
And we're doing these pet adoption fairs so that people can come and enjoy the food trucks and just different events and have their kids at the park while looking for a pet to adopt. So it's a lot of fun.
Our dog is a rescue, and so I can tell you it's just a gratifying thing to do. And we have so many dogs, Councilwoman, so many dogs and cats of all types that are just crowding our shelters because we just don't have enough people who want to adopt them.
And they bring such joy.
They do. They do.
My little adopted Jock, who's now 10.
Yeah.
He was 3 months old when I adopted him. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
And he is just brought so much joy to our home.
Same here. Our dog a little larger, but she's going to be 10, and she's been part of our family since she was very young. And so this is can't imagine not having her around.
Right.
And so I hope others maybe get to experience that.
I hope so.
Councilwoman, you were also telling me about large dogs. There's really a need for large dogs to be adopted. It's a real issue.
There is. For some reason, they end up in the shelters longer than smaller dogs. But they are the ones that deter burglars from burglarizing your home.
Yeah.
It's known, and we've heard it from Metro, that they're yet to see a burglary with a very large dog.
In the house,
so
that's
there's
right.
a real, that's something that people should think about if they want to keep themselves safe, is not only can the dog be a loving joy for your family, but also can protect your home.
And by adopting a large dog, too, you're also helping the large dog.
That's
too.
right.
So it's a win-win for
opening
everyone.
up that shelter, yes.
All right. Well, Councilwoman, great event. Is that annual? Do you do that annual or a couple times a year?
We do it a couple times a year, but we're going to go back to once a year in the spring when the weather's real nice.
Well, it was very successful. A lot of pets
was.
adopted that day. And again, if you're looking for a pet, there are many, many out there. All the various shelters in the area really need your help because they got a lot to choose from. So.
Absolutely.
Councilwoman, I love this too. Let's shift our focus from pets to people. You're a big supporter of local businesses. In late October, you honored Payman's Fresh Kitchen and Lounge. Now, this place is a mainstay on West Sahara there. And Councilwoman, I didn't know this until you educated me, but they were a first in this country, which I didn't realize.
For Hookah Lounge.
For Hookah Lounge.
That's right.
Did not know that.
I didn't either until they let us know that they were having this big event, so we honored them for it. But we talked about it earlier, how delicious the food is.
Oh, yeah, it's terrific.
It's got every type of Mediterranean food you can imagine from every country. And I love going there, and it's just a great place for people to go and enjoy food. And if you do hookah, they have a hookah lounge and a great bar.
And the hookah lounge, if you're concerned, is separate from the restaurant, so
Yes,
you don't have
very
to worry.
separate.
Don't have to worry about that. It's a great place. We were talking about this before we went on the air, but I remember when Payman had a small place over on Maryland Parkway near UNLV, and he had a reputation back then. I've been here almost 37 years.
Yes.
We would drive all across town just to go to his place because it was so good.
Yeah,
And,
amazing food.
So, well, I'm glad you recognized him. He's been there for 30 years at the current location.
Yes.
That makes sense. That'd be about right.
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, good for him. And of course, that's right in the heart of Ward 2 there.
Yeah.
So you gotta recognize Payman. And then, Councilwoman, really that kind of fits in with something you do, and we'll talk about this a little later, but your Small Business Saturday, you really bring the focus to educating people about the small businesses that are in Ward 2.
Correct.
Small businesses are the mainstay of our economy,
That's
obviously.
right.
And you've featured Payman in other restaurants. I've learned a lot on that little segment on your social media each week. And small businesses out there, hey, if you're in Ward 2,
Yeah,
let us
please
know.
contact my office, and I would love to come out and film your business and highlight it on our social media. And like you, I have learned about different businesses right in our own backyard that we may not know about just because we're highlighting all these small businesses. And it's nice to go out and meet these people too that own these small businesses, and I love it. And we had this whole thing of shopping local this past weekend.
That's right. That was the whole idea, right?
Yeah.
Help your local businesses. I've learned everything from restaurants to dry cleaners to consultants to bridal
Shoe
shops.
repairs.
Yeah, exactly. It runs the gamut. But a lot of this we always talk about. Sometimes these things are literally in our backyard, didn't even know it.
Right.
And it's like, well, that's like a stone's throw from here. But I didn't know what they did there. So,
That's right.
All right, well, good stuff. And Councilwoman, this is one that was near and dear to me. Illegal fireworks. Councilwoman, the community was quite vocal regarding this next topic. Your office received a flood of complaints about illegal fireworks out there. So you took action and sponsored an ordinance increasing fines and civil penalties for violators in the city of Las Vegas. City Council passed the bill in early November, and in some cases, fines have doubled?
Yes, and they're mandatory is the main thing.
Right.
And so we heard you and our other constituents loud and clear. And I think this was a really important ordinance. It's to make sure that people are fined, because unless that fine is mandatory, people have no accountability for their actions. And fireworks can cause fires. People can
Injuries.
lose their limbs, and a lot of dogs end up in shelters due to
they run
illegal
away.
fireworks.
They're scared, and not to mention veterans who suffer from PTSD.
That's right.
It's a horrible night for them. Fire department says it's the worst night of the year for them because they just can't even keep up with all of the calls.
That's right.
It's a real danger.
It is.
And of course, we all want to celebrate America. We want to celebrate the birth of our country, but we don't want to burn the neighbor's house down in
not
the
at the
process.
detriment to other people.
Right, exactly.
And so this ordinance, I think, will now, there's accountability for it. And, you know, when asked, what do I recommend just don't break the law and keep your kids safe, your neighbors safe, and your animals safe.
Yeah, and Councilwoman, we should mention too, every year there are numerous free fireworks displays that take place
Everywhere
all across
in
the
Las
valley.
Vegas.
And some of them are really impressive. Huge, with professionals, the fire department monitoring what's happening so everyone stays safe. So
There's no need.
why, and why spend hundreds or sometimes thousands of dollars on illegal fireworks when you might have them confiscated, by the way? You'll pay a fine, and you could go to a park.
And you'll upset your neighbors.
And you'll upset your neighbors. Please, yes, and you might burn their house down too, so please don't do that either. So we've had some close calls in our neighborhood on that for sure. So, and then Councilwoman, this is one that is tough to see. You attended a mayor's summit. You've been passionate in your support of the Jewish community and their fight against anti-Semitism. You were invited to speak at the 2023 North American Mayor's Summit against anti-Semitism. This event took place as the turmoil on the Gaza Strip continues to unfold. And this was in Fort Lauderdale, you were telling
Correct.
me. Yeah.
Correct. As you know, I have the largest Jewish population in my ward, and I take it very seriously when people are writing hate speech and, you know, there is a threat to our Jewish community. And I was so grateful that I was invited to Fort Lauderdale to that summit, because I spoke, but I also learned a lot. And just collaborating with other mayors and city council members, I was able to bring back that knowledge here in how to stop anti-Semitism. So just grateful that I was a part of it, and will continue to be a voice against anti-Semitism.
Councilwoman, tell us about the summit. This was mayors, council members from all across the nation.
All across the nation. We had professors that teach about the Holocaust there, and just really sharing and teaching and educating about statistics and what we can do as on a local level of government to eradicate anti-Semitism as much as possible. And it was really eye-opening. I feel like I learned a lot, and I want to bring that back here and start working on some things that we can do.
Councilwoman, can you share some of what you took away?
Yeah, well, I think what we need to do is really do something where I'm working on it now, and so I'm in the early stages, but defining what anti-Semitism is, so that that would help with law enforcement and different agencies. So that's some of the things, and then just to be that voice, and as a leader, speak out against it, because, you know, what did happen during the Holocaust is people were afraid to speak out. And it eventually led to what we know is history. And so we need to be a voice, and we need to speak out against it, and educate people on the harm of being anti-Semitic or just hate speech in general.
Yeah, period, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just unacceptable, and we have to make sure that we are, as leaders, are speaking out against it and making sure that we stop it.
Yeah, it's jarring in America, where we're a melting pot. We have people from all over the world, all different faiths, all different perspectives, and
hate doesn't stop with anti-Semitism.
No, exactly.
If we don't stop it there, how far will it go? And people need to realize that.
Yeah, very good point. Well, sadly, Councilwoman, community members in your very ward experienced messages of hate firsthand. Anti-Semitic graffiti was found spray painted on walls in the West Valley. This took place during one of our council meetings, in fact, and I remember you excused yourself, the mayor excused you, and you rushed out there. This was really, this was hard to see. This is our neck of the woods, and it was very, very upsetting to see this.
This is a very Jewish neighborhood, Orthodox Jewish, and yeah, I'm grateful that we took care of it immediately. They took the evidence. The city erased the messages as soon as possible, and we demonstrated against it. And thank God we have not seen it since then. And I think that people need to know that we're not going to tolerate it.
Yeah, yeah. You can see that's some of the graffiti covered up there, but it brought the whole issue in Gaza very close to home.
Very close.
Right into our own neighborhoods.
Very close. I heard from rabbis and different people in the Jewish community that it was a threat. And we can't accept that.
No. And to your point, Councilwoman, hate on any level like that is just, you just can't. We just can't have it. It's just, this is America, where we're supposed to be tolerant of one another, not like that.
And the more we speak out, and the more we stand up against hate, I think we will be able to eradicate it.
Councilwoman, do you know, have they been able to track down who was responsible for that graffiti? Or have you had any updates on that? Last I'd heard, it was still under investigation. The Southern Nevada Counterterrorism Center was leading the effort.
Right.
That's a good group. If anybody could track something down, it would be them. But I had not heard if they had made an arrest in that or not. So. Well, we will keep you posted. I'm sure you will hear about it in many other aspects as well if there is a break in that situation. And then Councilwoman, you know, the community has tackled some tough topics, but we always find ways to come together. And this next event is proof of that. It's the Las Vegas Marathon coming in 2024. The race is set for next year, but organizers held a launch party last month. You presented a certificate of recognition during the event. The race will start in Summerlin. Listen to this, everyone, and end up on Fremont Street. That's a long way to run.
You ready for that run?
Yeah, exactly. At least it's kind of downhill. And again, it's set to take place in 2024.
It's the first one. I'm so excited.
And this is not to be confused with the Rock and Roll Marathon. No. This is a separate marathon.
And I like that it's called the Las Vegas Marathon.
Yeah. So 23 miles, Councilwoman, 23 point something miles, and wow, that's a long run. That's a long run. But you're going to see a lot of Las Vegas to go from Summerlin down to Fremont Street.
I wonder if I could ride my bike during it.
Sure. Why not? You know, be the pace bike for everyone. Sure.
Hand out waters.
Exactly. Well, you know, Las Vegas is such a great place to host anything, so it makes sense that
we're an amazing city.
Yeah.
We're amazing.
So, again, the race will start in Summerlin, end on Fremont, set to take place in 2024. Do you know what month, Councilwoman?
I think it's April.
It's got to run in, it can't be in the summer. It's
no, I don't think so. It's either March or April. I'm not sure, but I'll do updates
I think you're right, because that would make more sense. Otherwise, it'd just be way too hot to be running. This is Las Vegas, you know. By May, we're dying out there, so... So again, keep your eyes peeled, especially if you're a runner. You know someone who is, someone who wants the challenge of running. My dad used to run marathons.
Did he?
He did. And,
my husband used to run them.
Yeah, and it becomes kind of an obsession. You know, it's like, well, I've done this one, I got to do this one, and this one, and this one. They just, you know, put the pins in the map of all the places that he'd been. But to me, running only feels good when you stop, you know. But others, it's a way of life. So God bless them. And then, Councilwoman, I love this too. Back on November 11th, you took part in our annual event honoring our veterans. Of course, it was Veterans Day. It's the city's of Las Vegas annual Veterans Day parade, and you had the honor of riding Big Red. And you were up there all by yourself this year.
Yeah.
Where was everybody?
I don't know, but I
did a fire truck to yourself.
I didn't mind it one bit. Of course, I missed all my colleagues, but it was such a great parade, and there were so many people out there.
Yeah, that's a huge parade. We draw a lot of folks every year for that.
And the mayor with Oscar and our World War II vet.
Yeah, World War II vet who is still doing very well. Still doing very well.
Isn't he in his 90s?
Oh, he would have to be. I think he's pushing 100.
Yeah, I do believe he is.
To be in World War II, I think the minimum age you would have to be is going to be about 94, 95.
Yeah, I think he's close to 100, and he's doing great.
Yeah.
He's still making woodworks. He does those for charity. When I was running for office the first time for council, I actually knocked his door and spent an hour with him.
I remember you said that.
Showed me all his pictures, and he's just a wonderful human being.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy and has quite the story to tell from the war.
Wonderful story.
My dad was a World War II vet. I don't know if I ever told you that. Yeah, he was in the Navy in World War II. Your father was in the Navy.
But it was Korean War.
He's a little bit younger than my dad, but...
my grandfather was in World War II. He was in the National Guard.
Yeah. And always near and dear to those of us who have family members who are veterans. So... Big Red is our historic fire truck that's been restored. So
I love Big Red.
Yeah, there you go. You're up there. You got to do it all by yourself. That's awesome. So, and then Councilwoman, this was pretty cool too. From heroes of yesterday to leaders of tomorrow. Let's talk about our local students. You were invited to speak at Vasiliada's School for Career Day. They picked the perfect person, obviously, because these students apparently had a lot of questions about local government that they hit you up on.
A lot of questions about federal government too.
Yeah, it's all the same, isn't it?
No, not really.
Exactly, as we well know. They'll learn more.
So they were amazing, so inquisitive. They were so much fun. What a great school. I mean, just a bunch of great students, great teachers. I can't say enough about how great that school is.
Those fourth or fifth graders that are somewhere in that area?
Okay, I think we had couple third grade classes, a couple fourth, well, no, there was only 4, so it was third, fourth, and fifth.
So you, okay, so
Combination,
yeah, nice.
but at different times.
And their questions, you told me, were a lot about taxes.
All about taxes. Do I have to pay taxes?
Yes.
Yes, I do. And it was really funny because I finally said, "What is this obsession with taxes?" Yes, we all have to pay them when you work. So they were so cute and so sweet and so polite, and I just really enjoyed it. I want to do career day again really soon. Right. Highlight of my being a councilwoman.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad they had such good questions and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure out why they're concerned so much with taxes, but probably hearing that from mom and dad or grandma and grandpa,
probably
you know,
what it
yeah.
was,
So
yeah.
that's probably the case.
But it was a lot of fun.
Well, Councilwoman, we still have some minutes left in the show, but we want to make sure we tell everybody you have some upcoming events out there that are really great, especially as we head into the holiday season. So let's jump on to a few of these. The first is your holiday mingle, your Christmas holiday mingle. It's going to take place December 7th. That's a Thursday from 5 to 7 at the Cobblestone Cottage, Sahara in Buffalo. Please RSVP everybody because they want to make sure there's enough food. You have to RSVP by December.
And while supplies last.
And while supplies
we have to talk about our ornament, right?
Exactly. And Councilwoman, tell everybody about this event. You've been doing this since you've been in office. How does it all work? What happens?
So we just have refreshments. It's kind of like the breakfast buzz, but it's a holiday mingle where we have food and we have some wine if they would like, and refreshments, and we give away our annual ornament that we have handmade by a local artist.
Yeah.
And we've done this every year now for 4 years. So this will be our 2023 ornament.
Exactly, 2023.
While they last. So.
Exactly. And this event is completely and totally free.
Right. But we
So,
do ask that you RSVP.
Yeah, please RSVP everyone because, we want to make sure there's enough of everything out there. So again, that's going to be the Christmas Mingle, Thursday, December 7th, 5 to 7 at the Cobblestone Cottage. That's near Sahara in Buffalo. And so love to have you attend. Now, a couple days later, on Saturday, December 9th, Councilwoman, it's going to be your document shredding and medication disposal event. That's going to be out the Pavilion Center pool, right in the parking lot there.
Right after our breakfast buzz.
I'm sorry, I skipped the breakfast buzz, Councilwoman. Thanks for holding me on track here. The next thing on Saturday, December 9th, from 9 to 10, is the Breakfast Buzz in Ward 2 Biz. Thank you, Councilwoman. That will be first that day at Veterans Memorial Community Center. And again, we need you to RSVP so that breakfast is included in this, everyone. So please RSVP so that there's enough food for everybody.
And after we give you food, then you walk into the parking lot and you can shred your get in your car and shred your document.
That's what I was getting to. Yeah, I just was so excited about that.
And drop off your medication.
Right.
Please don't put them in the toilet or wherever they put them, because it gets into the water system. We were talking about that.
Don't want that to happen.
Don't throw them in the garbage. Just make sure that you dispose them in one of our medicines.
If you're bringing medicine to throw away, just put it in a plastic bag and turn it in, and it will be disposed of properly.
Wonderful.
And the other thing, too, is you have documents to dispose of.
Yeah, talk about that, Dave.
Please, everybody, 5 boxes max. We want everybody to be safe from identity theft, but 5 boxes is the max to be shredded. And please be mindful, we've had all kinds of things, binders, batteries, a cell phone one time, large paper clips left on documents. Staples are okay, but everything else just needs to be removed so it doesn't mess up the equipment. We had a fire one time because somebody put batteries in there and the machine.
Be mindful because it is a free event.
Right.
And if you want us to continue this, we really have to have you make sure that we don't ruin the machines.
Right. This is key. This is very important. So again, folks, that's going to be Saturday, December 9th from 10 to noon following the Breakfast Buzz in Ward 2 Biz. This is the Pavilion Center pool, which is right next to the Veterans Memorial Leisure Service Center. Palo Verde High School's right out there as well. That's near Charleston and the 215 if you're coming from elsewhere in the ward. But again, I'd love to have you come out 10 to noon that day and just please be mindful of what you throw into that box. So, and then, Councilwoman, you have done a great job with this, highlighting the issue of human trafficking here in Southern Nevada and in Las Vegas. Tell everybody again, we rank
first or second in human trafficking, and that's not a list we want to be number one or number two on. And so for the last, well, it's been about almost a year now that we started the anti-human trafficking events to educate parents, grandparents, because children are as young as 9 have been trafficked in Las Vegas.
Both boys and girls.
Boys and girls. And so what it really does is we bring Metro to do a PowerPoint to educate, but we also show film on how kids are groomed. And we just invite everybody to come out. We'll have refreshments, and we're doing our next one in January.
Yeah, Councilwoman.
With Councilwoman Bruni.
Again, that's going to be Wednesday, January 10th, 5:30. This is out at Centennial Hills YMCA. That's at 6601 North Buffalo. It's in Ward 6. But again, as Councilwoman mentioned, this is a joint event with Councilwoman Nancy Bruni in her ward, but you had one in your ward at Veterans Memorial.
One in my ward, then we did Henderson with Councilwoman Carrie Cox, because it isn't specifically a ward, it's all of Southern Nevada, and it's important that we educate people all over the valley. So that's the reason for this, and I'm going to continue doing it in all the wards and anywhere where I can, get a partner.
Good for you. Councilwoman, as you mentioned, the seminars get into how these human traffickers will try to groom young people, mostly young people, sometimes not all that young too. Also, what to look for. If you see certain signs, that's an indication that maybe there's some human trafficking going on here, and that you need to be aware of that as well.
That's right. And you're right, it doesn't just happen with children, it happens with adults who are very vulnerable and maybe going through a hard time. And so you really need to see the signs of how someone will groom you, and before you know it, you're involved in human trafficking. It's a big issue.
It is. And so hopefully, folks, if this is something that well, hopefully a lot of people will attend, like you did your previous events as well. So, Councilwoman, we're just about out of time here, so we want to tell everyone out there, hey, we always want to hear from you, so if there's something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Victoria Seaman, you can find her on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and of course X, which is formerly known as Twitter. You can also contact the Councilwoman by phone, 702-229-2420, or send her an email. Her address is ward2@lasvegasnevada.gov. Well, Councilwoman, happy holidays to you. This is your last show of 2023. Wow.
Wow. And I want to wish everyone a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all the other holidays in between. And we'll see you next year.
Yeah, exactly. 2024, Councilwoman. It'll be a date. We'll do it right here. So happy holidays to you. And folks, please don't miss our next show beginning on December 7th with Ward 5 City Councilman Cedric Creer. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Also, watch for our QR code during the closing credits of this show to subscribe to our newsletter. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time around, and happy holidays.